Energy consumption is at an all-time high in the United States. As of 2011, the United States is responsible for approximately 1/5 of total global energy consumption. This is largely due to the current technological culture to which American society has become accustomed. The typical American household has grown to embrace many appliances and electronics which continuously draw energy from the power grid. The power grid refers to that which the majority of society is dependent upon for energy. This centers around the production and distribution of electricity.
In 1845, writer Henry David Thoreau left most comforts of contemporary society behind in favor of the simplicity of nature. For 2 years, he occupied a cabin on the shore of Walden Pond, observing nature, cultivating the land, and contemplating the complexities of civilization. Through this, Thoreau came to recognize the significance of self-reliance.
Today, people are coming to that same realization and are making efforts to become less reliant on the grid. Many are focusing on using less energy by unplugging unused appliances, increasing the efficiency of those appliances and electronics, and turning off the lights. But we have the technology to do so much more. Solar, geothermal, hydropower, and wind energies have always been present. However, it wasn't until the late 18th and 19th centuries that their energies were first harnessed for power in the United States. The U.S. Department of Energy cites solar power to have been introduced first in the late 18th century, followed closely by geothermal power in the early 19th century, and later by both hydropower and wind power in the late 19th century.
Solar power is generated through the use of solar cells, also called photovoltaic cells. These cells produce an electrical current when light from the sun is absorbed into them. This energy pushes electrons loose, forming the current which is then used for or stored as electricity. Solar panels are now seen on a large scale in solar farms and as supplements to many commercial buildings. Locations that are closest to the equator provide the greatest amount of sunlight every year and have the highest potential solar power available.
Geothermal power is generated from the heat of the earth. There is great potential in geothermal energy. However, with current technologies, the most efficient method of tapping into this energy is through the implementation of geothermal heat pumps. The general operation requires a pump to be placed in the ground, circulating water from the Earth's interior to the building above the ground. This form of energy is only effectively available for industrial applications in certain areas where there are sufficient temperatures within the Earth.
Hydropower is generated through machines that harness the power of water in motion. Common technologies for producing hydropower in the United States are built to focus the flow of water and funnel it through turbines connected to electric generators. Ocean waves can also be harnessed to transform their motion into electricity. Hydropower is the most common renewable resource used to generate electricity in the United States.
Wind power is generated through natural air currents from the pressure differences created by the uneven heating of the Earth. Wind energy is typically harnessed through wind turbines. As the wind blows, the blades of the turbine rotate and power a generator, which in turn produces electricity. Much like solar power, large-scale wind farms are now found around the United States in open areas exposed to a lot of wind.
Conservation has been recognized as an important issue facing the United States today. Reliance on the power grid is now a source of political action and debate. Many organizations are becoming involved in taking steps to conserve the planet.
Due to this heightened awareness, the general public is beginning to wonder what it can do to aid in this national endeavor towards self-reliance. The answer that they have found is in the implementation of the 4 previously mentioned renewable power sources in the home. Solar panels can be produced in smaller sizes that are more compatible to home life. The most common application in the home fastens the panels to the roof, facing the direction that will absorb the most sunlight. Typically, this means directing the panel towards the equator. These panels will generate the primary electricity needed to power the home, with excess energy being stored in batteries. Solar energy can also be used to power individual items such as flashlights, battery chargers, and outdoor lamps. Solar heating is another method by which to use the energy from the sun. Some systems include solar water heating and solar chimneys. These are used to heat water and air respectively. In recent years, solar technologies have become more available with government incentives, increase in demand, and financing programs.
Geothermal heat pump systems can be set up for use in any home that has the ground space for the necessary pumps. These pumps supply the desired air heating and cooling systems that keep the home at a comfortable temperature. Water is heated or cooled by the earth as it circulates through the pumps and rises up towards the home. The temperature of the water as it reaches the home offsets the temperature of the surrounding air, acting as an equalizer, and is then returned through the pump to the earth to be heated or cooled once again. The same process can be used to heat the home's water supply. For those homes that may not have sufficient ground space, there are several alternative pump layouts designed to conserve space. These include horizontal, vertical, and spiral layouts. Hydropower is available as an energy source to homes directly near a source of flowing water. A turbine is placed in the water and is turned by the natural movement of the current. The turbine is connected to a generator which creates electricity. This electricity can be stored in batteries or delivered directly to the home. Unlike the large-scale application of hydropower, the smaller-scale application for the home is not generally available for urban centers, where the competition for rights and privileges to the water would be elevated. However, for those homes that are able to take advantage of this energy source, hydropower is another form of energy production that makes living off the grid a possibility.
Harnessing the power of the wind to generate electricity for the home is achieved through the use of turbines, much the same as for the large-scale wind farms around the United States. Though the turbines used to power the home are much smaller, the general operation is principally the same. Wind currents push against the blades, making them rotate, which in turn rotates gears that run the generator. In order to efficiently take advantage of this technology, the turbine must be high enough above any nearby obstacles such as trees and buildings so that the wind is not diverted away from the blades. Because small-scale wind turbines rely on few moving parts, they are reliable, dependable, and require minimal maintenance.
While implementing these technologies at home may represent a large initial investment, these technologies have the potential to save great amounts of money in the long run. Over time, the initial investment will be returned through low to no cost electricity. When all of these technologies work together, the potential for energy savings is even greater. Solar, geothermal, hydro, and wind powers are considered to be clean, renewable resources, which means that they will replenish themselves faster than the rate at which they are consumed, and will not contribute to the pollution of the environment. Many of the leading resources currently being used to generate electricity, such as coal, petroleum, and nuclear power, are environmentally damaging. Their production and transformation into electricity often emit dangerous pollution into the air.
Using these technologies in the home is important to the future health of both humans and the planet they inhabit. The current generation must take the initiative to preserve the planet so that future generations may have the opportunity to live healthy and comfortable lives. Being self-reliant now will set the example for these future generations by taking responsibility for individual energy consumption and shifting the focus towards what can be done to preserve the well-being of the environment.
In Henry David Thoreau's day, being self-reliant looked more like living in isolation from society and contemporary technologies. Today, advances in solar, geothermal, hydro, and wind powers allow self-reliance to be applicable in modern contemporary technological society.